Hold your camera.
Have a seat, we're going to start. My name is Mitch Garber. Welcome to Tomlinson Hall at McGill University. Merci et bienvenue. On est ici aujourd'hui pour rendre hommage à une vraie légende, un exemple parfait de l'esprit humain et une Montréalais et Redmen qui continue de nous rendre tous très fiers. Vous avez devant vous la liste de ses accomplissements sur le terrain de football et aujourd'hui, on entendra quelques mots de ses coéquipiers et ses enfants. On parle sans doute de notre numéro 22 et le numéro 1 dans nos cœurs, Michael Souls. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to honor a Montreal and McGill legend and to add to his legacy, the endowment of the Michael Souls Football Award. In less than 2 months, a community of friends, family, and McGill alumni led by 5 of Mike's 1987 Vanier Cup championship teammates have raised almost $210,000, which should allow the Redmen to attract 3 top recruits per season with the potential for more in the future. To honor this amazing man whose heroics have only been amplified by his 9-year battle with ALS, we'll hear from Mike's teammates, coaches, and his children. Let me start by introducing you to 2 of Mike's great friends, his brothers, his teammates. Bruno Pietrobon, 5 seasons inside receiver with the Redmen from 84 to 88, co-captain of the 1987 Vanier Cup team, honorary president of the Friends of McGill football since 2005. As well as Wayne McRae, also co-captain of the 1987 Vanier Cup championship team, a Commerce graduate from McGill 1987, has served as president of the Friends of McGill football since 2005, and a few years ago, Wayne partnered with Mike Souls to form the Souls McRae Wealth Management Group. Bruno and Wayne, please take the stage.
Things over to Wayne in a moment. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. It is both a pleasure and an honor to announce the establishment of the endowment fund to benefit McGill Redmen football in the name of our teammate and our buddy, Mike Souls. It's an even greater honor to represent the hundreds of donors, be they friends, colleagues, or acquaintances of Mike's, or even people who only know of Mike, who've been kind and generous enough to contribute towards honoring our dear friend. The seed of this idea to establish a fund in Mike's name was planted back in mid-August, thanks to 3 circumstances that aligned themselves at the very same time. The first was that our close buddy was cooped up next door at the Metro, recuperating all summer long. The second was the explosive power of social media, which enabled the publicity surrounding the Ice Bucket Challenge. And the third was that for the first time ever, the Vanier Cup was being held here in Montreal and right here at McGill. With those 3 circumstances hovering in the background, Joff Elkus sent me an email asking if McGill had anything planned to honor Mike during this time. Nothing had yet been planned, so we immediately recruited Wayne McRae, Haven Maynard, and Vince Gagne. Guys, want to just stand up for a moment? 3 And we organized a conference call to come up with some idea or some way of honoring Mike, to recognize him and his McGill and his Vanier Cup legacy. Even though the Ice Bucket Challenge is a wonderful campaign, we wanted to do something a little bit more personal and something that was more unique. Something that would specifically honor Mike and be a fitting tribute to him. It had to be memorable and it had to be lasting. We were just 5 friends of his on the phone, bouncing around ideas on what we could do when it dawned on us that the origin of our friendship was that we were all McGill Redmen. That's when we had our aha moment, and the seed of our idea began to germinate. Linking Mike's name to an award that would help McGill attract talented football players who happen to be highly accomplished students to attend McGill seemed like a great idea. We immediately enlisted our old Thanks, Earl. To point us to the powers that be at McGill, and fortunately, as if through some divine intervention or something, we were assigned Samantha Rogers. Where's Sam?
Over here.
Samantha is our project lead. She organized our first meeting on the 12th of September, just 10 short weeks ago. We launched our campaign on October the 6th with the goal to raise $80,000, the minimum amount required to establish an endowment fund of this sort. Time was of the essence as we wanted to announce our initiative with Mike present before the Vanier Cup. Samantha, thank you for your excellent guidance, contribution, professionalism, and personal commitment to our cause. As testimony to Mike's popularity in the community, both within and outside of McGill, we easily blew past our initial goal within 4 weeks. The response from Mike's colleagues and friends and people that he and his family have touched over the years was instant and overwhelming. We all received numerous wishes of support from many people with various connections to the Souls family. We're doing this because we want to do something for Mike, because we and he love McGill, because we and he love McGill Redmen football, and because we, together with all the people who donated to a cause that specifically recognizes and honors him, love Mike, period. We're proud of you, Mike. We're inspired by your resilience, by your courage, and by your refusal to let your condition defeat you or define you. It's our pleasure, our honor, and our duty to enable this lasting tribute in your name. It was and is the least we could do. With that, I'd like to turn things over to you, Wayne McGrath.
Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Just wanted to start off by thanking the committee. I feel honored to be up here with Bruno, giving recognition to Mike and Hagan, Vince, Joff. They should be up here with us because you guys were amazing in this whole venture that we put together. So I just truly want to thank you guys for the group effort that we put together. It's a special day today. We want to come here and have fun. It's a special week. We got the Vanier Cup on the weekend. And as most of you know, the last time we had the Vanier Cup in Montreal, it's never been in Montreal, but the last Montreal-based team to win the Vanier Cup was in '87, and Mike was the MVP. So we thought it was pretty cool this week how everything unfolded and came together. And over the last 27 years, whenever somebody would approach Mike to ask him about his MVP in the Vanier Cup, they couldn't even finish their question before Mike would cut them off and say, you know what, my O-line was amazing that day. They just made it so enjoyable for me. And that was typical of Mike, where he always talked about his teammates. Mike's won many awards. He's probably, when you think about it, he's won more awards personally than probably everyone in this room combined. So it's quite an accomplishment. But his awards are, they're special, but I think this award here specifically Mike really appreciates because it's what he's all about, and it's about giving back. And it's giving back to a program that is dear to his heart. And for time to come, there's going to be, great, young, solid recruits coming to McGill that have the opportunity to come here and play a sport that they love. And they're going to be able to thank Mike for that. Mike's going to be able to thank them for that opportunity of giving them that opportunity. So I know this award's special for Mike with the many others that he has out there because of its spirit that he's giving back. And we know those amazing athletes and students that are going to come to McGill, they're going to turn around and want to give back. So it's something that's out there for the rest of the time and something I know Mike's going to be very proud of. When we talk about all the awards that Mike's won, when you speak to Mike, he's more of a team player. And the beauty of team sports is it gives you the platform to develop into a better person because you're working with great coaches that we have here today and some amazing teammates. And typically what you see on the field is more likely what you see off the field. And that's true with Mike. When you gave the ball to Mike, like, he wowed everyone with his passion and his performance on the field. He was truly amazing to watch. That's what you get off the field too with Mike. When you speak to Mike about his family, his kids, once again, you're wowed with his passion. Same guy on the field, same guy off the field. I'd like to just finish off by saying, once again, a great big thank you to everyone that donated to this award. Because as most of us in this room over our times, I'm sure we've all gone out trying to solicit funds to raise money for many great causes that are out there. And you're basically put into a situation where you have to go ask people for money. What was different about this time around, which was really neat, didn't expect it to happen, but we would go out and we'd talk to people and say, hey, you want to hear a really great story? And we'd tell them about Mike. And we wouldn't even have to ask them for money. They would just say, how can I give money to that? I want to be part of this. So it was quite something to experience all that. And everyone that was involved in terms of donating or helped organize the committee, it gave them a great feeling inside to be part of this. It gave them inner warmth. And Mike, the main reason that happened is because of you, buddy. The type of person that you are. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bruno and Wayne. Pat Sheehan will get the bad part of your audio out of the way first. Pat played and coached at Concordia. He's currently the head coach at Queens. We'll go backwards though. In 1984, Pat took over as assistant head coach and offensive coordinator at McGill. Over the next 5 years, he helped guide the Redmen through some rough waters and finally was a key part of Coach Charlie Bailey's staff when the team won the Vanier Cup in 1987. His secret weapon as offensive coordinator, none other than Mike Souls. And when we say secret weapon, if you read the press release today, you might catch your eye on a stat that's not very well known, but I would venture to say there may not be a football player alive today that can boast 559 touches and no turnovers, to have never turned over the ball. 100% of the time that he touched the ball, I don't think that anybody has ever or will ever do that, Mike. Unbelievable. And here to honor you, your former coach, Pat Sheehan.
To apologize, my heart rate hasn't come down. I don't remember that hell at university being quite so challenging. Bonjour tout le monde. It's a pleasure to be in the presence of old friends. Great to be back at McGill. You know, Al Kuhn told me that when I left to become the head coach at Concordia, he wasn't sure that he could ever cheer for me again. But then he told me that when I left to become the head coach at Queens, he definitely wasn't going to cheer for me again. To John and Jane, great to see you, you know, and the Souls family. You know, for the last 26 years as a head coach, I promised parents that I thought I'd make it a little bit further into the program than this, actually. I promised parents that if they send me your boy, we'll give you back a man. And I'm really proud of my Souls. hope you are too. Okay, I hope that was the tough part. So, the members of the 87 team asked me to be a tribute to Mike Souls. A short tribute, they said. Let me just say this to the members of the 87 team, the coaches and the players that are here. Once again, I am honored to be in the presence of greatness. And it may not look like it, I am honored to do that. I am the eldest of 8 children, and I am the only one who does not wear eyeglasses. This is a point that I like to make with my family members regularly, but I'm not sure that we don't need them. My wife has chastised me many times, but I told her that I'm definitely going to make it to 60 before I actually visit the optometrist. That won't be long from now. These words I've selected are, I believe, completely appropriate. I wish I had written them. The best I can do is read them to you. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. When you figure out which it is, you know exactly what to do. When someone is in your life for a reason, it is usually to meet a need that you have expressed outwardly or inwardly. They have come to assist you through a difficulty or to provide you with guidance and support, to aid you physically, emotionally, or even spiritually. They may seem like a godsend to you, and they are. They are there for the reason you need them to be. Then, without any wrongdoing on your part or at an inconvenient time, the person will say or do something to bring the relationship to an end. Sometimes they die. Sometimes they just walk away. Sometimes they act up and force you to take a stand. What we must realize is that our need has been met, our desire fulfilled, their work is done. The prayer you sent up has been answered, and now it's time to move on. When people come into your life for a season, it is because your turn has come to share, grow, or learn. They may bring you an experience of peace or make you laugh. They may teach you something you've never done. They usually give you an unbelievable amount of joy. Believe it, it is real, but only for a season. And like spring turns to summer and summer to fall, the season eventually ends. Lifetime relationships teach you lifetime lessons. Those things you must build upon in order to have a solid emotional foundation. Your job is to accept the lesson, love the person anyway, and put what you have learned to use in all other relationships and areas in your life. It is said that love is blind, but friendship is clairvoyant. Michael, thank you for being a part of our lives, whether it was for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Pat. Mike, you might have set another record here. Today I've probably been to over 500 press conferences. Members of the media don't clap at press conferences, and they're clapping at this press conference. Charlie Bailey played briefly for the Montreal Alouettes. He served as head coach at McGill for 29 years, from 72 to 2000. He guided the Redmen to 2 Vanier Cup appearances, 73 and 87. Winning the latter, marking the first time that a Quebec-based school had won. Out of more than 1,000 players during his tenure at McGill, only one won the CIAU Rookie of the Year award, Mike Souls. Only one was named MVP of the Vanier Cup, Michael Souls. Charlie was inducted into the McGill Sports Hall of Fame in 2008, and only one of his players preceded him into that hallowed hall, Mike Souls, in 2000. Coach. You have one here.
When you get to my age, you need a little help sometimes. I'd like to thank the 1987 team for this opportunity to say a few words about Mike. It's a very trying time, I know, for us all. But I'd like to give you some of the insights that I have in the years that he played for us. It was only 3 years. We would love to have had him for 5, but he was destined to move on to the Edmonton Eskimos, which he did. Since my father played with McGill in the 1920s, just after the First World War, we talked in our family, because there were 3 of us that all played a lot of football. We talked about McGill football. We learned about some of the great players that played way back in those days, right up until today. We knew about Dr. Flynn Flanagan, Boo Anderson, Ronnie Perone, Murray Hayes. Some of these names you may recognize. There are a lot more. There's literally hundreds of great players that played for McGill. Mike Souls is one of them. He is on the top of the list of the great football players who played for McGill. Right on top there, Mike. He was to McGill just as Anthony Calvillo was to the Alouettes. And that's saying quite a bit. Having Mike on our side was a huge advantage. We went into every game believing that we could win. That was really important. And don't let that winning smile that he's got fool you. On the field, Mike turned to steel. And I felt that a few times when we had to pull him off. He got hurt a couple of times, and he wanted to get back in there, and we couldn't hold him on the sideline. It was that tough. Our first scrimmage in 1986, when we first came in, during the training camp, nobody really knew what Mike could do. We just said, okay, well, let's have a scrimmage and see what he can do. And boy, oh boy, nobody could tackle him. And we had some pretty darn good football players on our team. You know, we had linebackers like Wayne. We had Vince Gagne, defensive back. We had some really, really good defensive players. Mike, guys couldn't tackle him. So our hopes just went right up. It was great. And you know, he had so many highlights. You know, we're talking about all these awards that he got over the years. The highlight for me, Mike, was when he carried that ball. The most important run that you made in the years that you played with me was against Concordia. It was near the end of the game. The score was 7-4. We had the ball on about the 50-yard line. It was 3rd and 1. We couldn't give the ball back couldn't give it back to Concordia, we had to keep it. So who do you think we'd give the ball to? And of course, everybody in Concordia knew who was going to get the ball. Anyway, he took the ball, ran up against a wall, twisted and turned, and gained enough to get the first down and allow us to win that game. It was an important game for us, that league game. Some of you may have heard of Sam Pollock. I don't know how much Sam Pollock followed football or whether he knew anything about football. I know he was a hockey guy. But after watching our playoff game against Bishops in 1987, believe it or not, Sam Pollock was in the crowd. He said that Mike Soles was destined to move to the next level. And he was quoted in, I think, Tim Burke's column about that, which he did, and he went to Edmonton. You couldn't keep him back, and he was very successful for many years. One of Mike's strongest supporters was our offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, Pat Sheehan, we just heard from him. He's been the head coach at Queen's University for 15 years, and now he's finishing his 26th year, Pat? 26. Oh, he must be getting old. Pat played a very strong role in coaching our offense in 1987, where the kingpin, of course, was Mike. So starting a foundation in Mike's name is a very appropriate thing to do. I congratulate the 1987 guys. Terrific job you've done for this initiative. And finally, we all wish Mike and his family the very best at this prime time.
Thank you, Coach Bailey. I want to just reiterate something that Bruno said. I want to thank Pearl Zuckerman. There is no one better at keeping this McGill family together over the last several decades than you are. And you are very, very much appreciated. I'm a McGill 86. Many of the people here today are McGill graduates. And I think you know, Mike, that this is one big family that is very, very proud of you. That having been said, Mike, your family is here. Your mom and dad, Catherine, and your 3 kids, and those are, I'm sure, the source of much greater pride than any football award could ever be. 3 beautiful children sitting in the first row who would like to address the media, and the McGill grads, Justine, Matthew, and Anthony. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Souls, and this is my sister Justine and my brother Anthony, and we are very honored to be here today to celebrate this special occasion. I'd first like to thank the people who spearheaded this project: Jonathan Elkins, Hagen Maynard, Bruno Pietrabon, Wayne McRae, and Vince Gagne. You are very special people to our dad, and your dedication to this great cause has warmed our family's heart. We've heard many great stories about you over the years, and how you're part of an incredible team. Brothers for life. My brother and I love football, but more importantly, sports in general, in great part thanks to our dad. He has taught the 3 of us to find a balance in our lives that always includes sports, as he reminded us to cherish the important bonds that sports will bring into our lives. Those bonds are very apparent with all of you here today. To our dad, McGill is the university, sorry Mom, and the school that has the very best to offer in terms of balance between sports and academics. Okay, and the odd social event and party. He is a proud Redmen and even prouder McGill graduate. Thank you.
He has so many people to thank. 1. His former teammates from the 1987 team. 2. The McGill football community and alumni, including a generous donation from the 1969 Redmen team, the Mooneymen. 3. The Marlett Foundation. 4. Many friends, including his former St. Thomas and John Abbott teammates and classmates. 5. His golfing and skiing buddies from Montreal and Lakeshore Ski Club. 6. Even former football opponents from Concordia and Bishops. And we can't forget the family and close friends from everywhere and that are too numerous to name. Thank you to all. We never had the chance to steer Dad play, but we know one thing: he was really good. Not just on the field. He was a good team player and understood that he was part of a team, and was only as good as his O-line and teammates were. But we know he was pretty special. He reminds Matt and I all the time to keep our shoulders down, to hold on to the football, and to never show off in the end zone. Give the ball back to the ref respectfully, and get back to the game, stated my dad before every game. Michael Souls was and still is a class act.
There is one person's name who keeps coming up, and although she's been thanked already, our dad wants to make sure that she knows how grateful we are for all the amazing hard work she has put into making this happen. Samantha Rogers, our family thanks you from the bottom of our hearts. Earl the Pearl Zuckerman, you too are to be commended for all that you do. Another group of people our dad wants to be sure to thank are his coaches: Charlie Bailey, Pat Sheehan, Larry Ring, Mike Moravich, Perry Caceres, John Kesson, Chuck Poirier, and George Wall. You coaches are the cream of the crop and were instrumental in his career. You taught your players how to be men and not to ever be afraid of success. Thank you so very much. This bursary is great for so many reasons. Aside from being a huge honor to have it in his name, it is a great honor for our dad to be associated with the project.